Hello, everybody. My name is Danny Wells, and I'm joined here with Corinne, who is our team's newest consultant. Sat here with my fizz stick, which is my Arbonne Absolute fave, the B vitamin drink. So, because Corinne's just joined the team, we're going to do a little interview, a little bit of a Q&A, and we're also going to do a giveaway as well. So, stay tuned to hear about how you can win a full-size product from Corinne's new shop. So, question number, I'm just going to get straight away started. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, question number one. I know loads of people that are watching this either live or watching it on playback already know you, but for anyone that doesn't know you, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Corinne. Um, Live in Staffordshire, just outside Lichfield. Um, Married to my husband Andy, and I've got three children, grown-up children. My daughters are 26, 18, and 14. So I've also got two grandsons as well, who are 3 and 1. So very busy with family. We've also got two horses, two dogs, a cat, a tortoise. So always busy with the animals. I work as a midwife, and recently I have just started out as an independent midwife. So left the NHS um, as a midwife a little while ago. I've worked as a health visitor, and then I've literally just gone independent. So I'm sort of starting out privately and working in that sector. So really busy with kids, family, animals, job, and all
You
of
know
that.
what? They always say, don't they, ask a busy person. And I was just going to say for myself, because I know I'm interviewing Corinne, but just to explain a little bit about my background. I know you know this already, Corinne, but for me, I've had my Arbonne franchise for 11 years. And when I started, I was at the busiest time of my life because I'd had a massive career change. And I say career change, I'll explain why that's funny, but not funny. I had actually trained in ophthalmology. So I worked for Specsavers Opticians. And I loved the franchise Specsavers, loved my career, worked there for I think 7 or 8 years. And then we had two children at the time. We've now got four, but we had two at the time. And our second daughter, unfortunately, had a stroke and a brain hemorrhage. So she obviously was in hospital. And I took a year off work to be with her in hospital. And at the end of that year, my boss basically asked me if I was coming back or not, which I was like, no, I'm not able to, because my daughter then was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and I just wasn't able to do the work. And so when I started looking for a way to build an income, because I didn't want to be on benefits, so I wanted a way to build a big income from hospital. I came across Arbonne, this is why I laugh, because at the time of my life, I literally was in hospital with my daughter. I had a toddler that I was still trying to mum with, although she was obviously with her dad while I was in hospital, but I was still trying to have that bonding time with her. When we were then discharged from hospital, we had like 4 appointments a week in three different cities: Leicester, Nottingham, and Loughborough. And I actually jumped at the opportunity to join Arbonne. And I remember somebody saying to me, they're like, "You're the busiest person I know. You're literally at three different hospitals, like multiple times a week." And I was like, "Yeah, but you've got to ask a busy person because they will make it work." And when you said that, I was like, they will just make it work, won't they? And that kind of leads me on to my next question. I'm just going to use a little bit of the Arbonne hand cream, which I absolutely love. My next question, this would be good for midwifery actually, because you're
It's
always
very
washing your
busy.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
My next question then, Corinne, is what made you decide to actually start an Arbonne business?
So I've actually been using the products for a little while. So I was introduced to the products by a really good friend, Lisa Woodcock. So she sells them also. And it was last November, so 2024, I just signed up to do like the 7-day cleanse. And I just found that it worked really well. I found it easy. And then me and Lisa, we both did 30 days to healthy living that we started in January. And I think everybody starts something in January. They're kind of thinking, let's do a detox, or let's do, but this was more a sort of very, sort of clean vegan. I just read that book, Ultra Processed
Yeah.
People. And so everything about it rang true to me. And I thought, I'm going to do that. Let's see how it goes, because, January is always a tough time. But again, I found it really easy. Yes, I did drop weight. Yes, I felt a lot better. But I think the thing was, for the last couple of years, I've been struggling with like perimenopausal type symptoms. And the difference that it made to those kind of, your skin, your hair, the mood, the energy. So it was great because I did lose a bit of weight, but at the same time I felt brilliant. And so that's what made me think, I love the products. Decided to sell them because of going into sort of private midwifery. And I'm kind of like, I've been recommending the nappy cream, and I'm allowed to promote things as an independent midwife. And it's kind of looking at women's health and just health in general. So I just thought it ties in nicely actually with what I'm doing as a career. So it works alongside it really nicely.
Yeah, and do you know what? You're so right because when I first started this business, and I am going back, obviously, I know I mentioned before, I've just celebrated my 11-year anniversary, so I am going back in time a little bit. But when my two older children, who are now teenagers, and they were little, they both had really bad eczema, and I actually wasn't aware of toxins in products. I genuinely, ignorantly would think that going into like Boots or Superdrug or whatever high street store and buying like your 99p kids hair and body wash was fine, and it absolutely horrified me when I learned about the toxins that go into these products, and the regulators just allow it to happen. And the biggest thing for me was when I found out that when you have the oil rigs out in the sea and they extract the crude oil from the ground and they pull it up for fuel for cars, they have like a waste, there's like a byproduct to that. I think it's like a dirty scum at the top, and they scrape that off, and it's basically deemed, this byproduct is deemed not good enough for fuel. So like when I started to hear this, something that's not good enough for fuel, it's called mineral oil, and they have gallons and gallons and gallons of the stuff, and they can't dispose of it on the environment because it's environmentally harmful. They can't sell it to the food and drinks industry, so they sell it to the cosmetics industry, this greasy, nasty mineral oil, and that's what the skincare and cosmetics industry use to water down their products. So I always think of it like making soup. When you make like a vegetable soup and you want to fill more mouths, you water it down, and that's what these companies do, and they fill their products up. So when I was buying, say for example, I've got my sun cream here, even though it's a bit dark and gloomy today, I've got my sun cream here, which is an Arbonne one. But when I used to buy sun cream elsewhere, it was like 97% mineral oil and 3% ingredients versus 100% ingredients. So no, it's no wonder my kids had eczema. I was putting sun cream on them that was filled with mineral oil. I was washing them in mineral oil. Their shampoo had mineral oil in. Their hand wash at the sink had mineral oil in. So I'm trying to go back and forth to the GP and ask for products to help solve the problem, but it only scratches the surface. It doesn't get to the root cause. So when I first started Arbonne, I said to the lady that introduced me, "Oh, if these products are clean and safe, and they're vegan and they're gluten free and etc etc," and I says, "Will the kids range help my children's eczema?" And she said, "Look, I can't promise that the products will give you results, which none of us can, but if they don't work, Arbonne have a full 90-day money back guarantee." And that's obviously the same for Corinne shop as well, everybody that's listening. And for me, I kind of felt like if this company believes in their products that much, this 45-year-old company is willing to let people use their products up to 3 months and they don't get results, they will refund them. Like I had a drawer full of products that I'd bought, didn't deliver results, and they just sat collecting dust in a drawer. So I was like, fine, I'm gonna try it. And I tried the kids range. Within 3 days, their skin cleared up, and the results, it was shocking. I took before and after photos. I shared it with my network, and I just said to them, "Look, I can't promise that you're going to get the same results as me, but these are my results. And if you want to try it and it doesn't work, you get a full refund." In 11 years, I've never had anyone process a refund on the kids range. It has worked for them, and it lasts so much longer as well. I mean, you can obviously confirm that. I'm going to go into the next question as well, which is about products. We've got over 500 products. What is your favorite product?
So the one that I started using when I did the 30 days earlier in the year, and I'm going to continue to use it, is the Green Synergy Elixir. And so it's because it's just got so much in it. It's got all the benefits of your plants, but it's also got the collagen and the difference in my skin, my hair, my nails, especially at my time of life when they're not as strong, and then also it's looking after your gut. And I did an awful lot of research about gut microbiome and those sort of inflammatory responses that you have in your body, and it helps all of that. So it's just like this 3-in-1 powerful product that I just love. I think it's great. So, and it's really nice as well.
Yeah.
So it's this green drink, and you look at it, you're like, "Oh, okay," but actually it is tasty. And I had a fizz stick in there as well.
Yeah,
So
which is
yeah.
what I was drinking. So they're a B vitamin drink, and to be honest, it's my most popular seller. Most people don't get enough B vitamins every day, so they do have to supplement somehow. But a lot, I don't know if anyone's ever tasted B vitamins just in their pure. They're absolutely vile. Just as I bought a spray one years ago, just pure V. I was like, this is disgusting. Made me feel sick. Anyway, ours do not do that. Ours are a drink, and they taste so
Really nice.
good.
Yeah.
And they come in different flavors, don't they? So have you got a favorite flavor?
Oh God, I've got a few. Strawberry is always a favorite. Pomegranate as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's mango peach, but I like to also add in, I've got it here to show you all because I knew we were going to talk about our favorite product. This is a product called Inner Calm. And I like to add this in. This is not B vitamins. This is something separate, but you can add it into your fizz sticks. I'm going to tell you why it's one of my favorite products. I have four children and they're all girls and they drive me absolutely insane. If I did not take one scoop of this a day, which you can add just to water or you can add it into your green synergy elixir, like Corinne's just said, her favorite product, or you can add it into your fizz stick. And what it does, it's got ashwagandha root in it, which people call tiger grass, tiger grass roots, because when the tigers have got all het up and they want to calm down, they roll around in it. So that's why it's nicknamed tiger grass. So this has that in it. And what it does is it just helps you stay really, really mellow and calm. If I miss this any day and the kids will do something and it will irritate me, and I'll think, why am I getting irritable? And then I'll remember, oh, I have not had my inner calm. It's literally like, that Sunday morning peaceful feeling of just zen. That's what it's like. So I put one scoop of that every day into a drink that I have, and it really just gives me so much relaxation. Another product is the deodorant. I know it's not a sexy product, but being women, we obviously need to be really mindful about if we do use deodorant, what kind we're using. So all of our Bond products are all clean. So in particular with deodorant, it's paraben free and aluminium free. So the biggest bulk of my client base over the last decade is people that come to me, strangers that come to me and they contact me usually online and say, "Oh, I've been diagnosed with cancer," or close family relative of mine has been diagnosed with cancer. I've been given a list of ingredients to avoid, such as paraben free. I need to find a paraben free deodorant, etc., etc. And they're like, somebody told me you sell products that are free from all these nasties. How can I buy products from your shop? I know, Corinne, this will be how your business builds up as well. So obviously, I have a conversation with them and I say, look, I've got over 500 products in my shop. We're from Arbonne's from Switzerland, so obviously you can imagine everything great is from Switzerland, Swiss watches, chocolates, etc. And I tell them that we are B Corp as well. So if anyone doesn't know, the B Corp stamp basically means any company that has the B Corp stamp means it's the best of the best. So when you're like when money's no object, so you're in like royalty or a list celebrity and you're like money's no object, they're looking for B Corp products. And to get B Corp stamped, the company are so meticulous about everything that you do, and everything that company has to go through is it's quite a big long process. And not only is it hard to obtain the B Corp stamp, you have to redo it every 2 years. So Arbonne always gets the B Corp stamp. So as soon as I tell people this, I'm like, look, we're B Corp. Usually they're like, oh my gosh, amazing. So a big portion of my client base are people that are either going through cancer treatments or a family member is, and it's become really important to them to have clean products. My two teenage daughters, this is all I'll allow them to use deodorant wise. I'm like, you cannot use anything else. I want you to be using the safest possible product. So that's one of my favorite ones. And then lastly, the gelée, which is a literal wonder product. So this is called magic. It's not called magic cream. My kids call it magic cream because when they used to get growing pains, they used to cry and say, "Oh, my legs are falling off. Can I have some magic cream?" And this would help relieve the growing pains. But it's good for migraines, headaches, menopause, hot flushes, and burns, bites. So it's a first aid type product. You put that in your first aid kit, and that will last you about 2 years. So that's a really good product as well. Good for sunburn. So I've talked about favourite products. Was there any others you wanted to mention? I know you had a few, but I said you could only pick one. I've just gone and got picked.
Yeah, I know. I know I'm going to go with that. And the fish sticks as well, always a favourite, aren't they?
Yeah. So my very last question, fourth and final question, and then I'll talk about the giveaway that we're going to do as well, is when people decide that they're going to start an Arbonne franchise, it's £75. That's in English sterling for the year. That buys you your whole franchise. If you're in another country, because Arbonne do operate in different countries, then you can just check with Corinne how much the website costs. Then what happens is you start building your business and talking to people about these products. And the great thing is most people want a real life person like Corinne, like myself, to have a conversation with about what would be a good recommendation for a solution that they're looking for. And then they decide to buy the product off Corinne's website. So she doesn't, the products get shipped straight to your house or straight to the customer's house. So she doesn't go around delivering products. It's all done literally. If I was going to be her customer, I would go onto her website, order the products, pay for it online. They'd get shipped straight to my door about 24 hours later. So when you start building up your customer base and start building up your business, what you find is you promote to level one in Arbonne. So there's only 4 levels. I'm just going to go through the 4 quickly. Level one is a district manager, and the average income at the district manager level is about £500 a month. Now, for me, it took me 4 months to build to that point. Some people do it in their first month, some people it takes longer. It was 4 months for me, and that extra £500 a month for us meant that my husband didn't have to work weekends anymore, which he was doing at the time. So for us, it was life changing in that it gave my husband more time. Carry on building your business, your customer base grows, your referrals grow, and you get to level two, which is area manager level. At level two, your income is about £2,000 a month, roughly. For me, it took me from start to 6 months. So it was 2 months after promoting to level one, I was then at level two. And at this point, your business is willable. So if anything happens to you, Arbonne still pay your income every month, but to whoever you will your business to, your partner, your children, your parents, etc. And for us, this was at the point where things started to get really life changing. And I'd always wanted to take my children to Disney World, and I'd wanted to take them, but for 2 weeks. I didn't want to have to only go for a short space of time. It meant that we could book the flights that we wanted. We didn't have to do connecting flights. And it just really opened up doors for us to tick off bucket list items at this point. Level three, because obviously your business is still building, is regional vice president level. And at this point, the average income here is about £5,000 a month. For me, from start, it took me 11 months. So before my 1 year anniversary with Arbonne, I'd hit level three. And you can imagine how life changing that was. So £5,000 extra a month coming into our household changed everything for us. It meant that we could stop renting because we'd rented our house at that point for 12 years. And I hated the thought of being kicked out of a rental. We then were able to buy our first home, and our first home was our dream house as well. So we still live in it. It's the house that I live in now, and it is literally our dream house. So we were able to go from a rental to a dream house because of this business. And then the fourth and final level is national vice president. It took me 4 years from when I started to get there. I was a little bit slower. The quickest it's been done to the top level is 6 months. But I had, little ones, and anyway, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how long it takes you to build your business. And the average income at the top level is £10,000 a month. And for us, it meant we could expand our family. So we decided to have 2 more children, which previously we felt like we didn't have the time or the money to do. So it was really life changing for us. So my last question is, it's 2025. So I want you to imagine it's going to take you 5 years to build to the top of the company. Now, it may take you 6 months. I'm not saying it's going to take 5 years, but let's say it's 2030, 5 years' time. The kids are all 5 years older. The grandkids are all 5 years older. You're earning £10,000 a month every month. What does your life look like?
I think it just gives you a lot more freedom and time. I think time's the thing that it's the most valuable thing that you can have in life, isn't it, really? And I think to be able to help out my kids because they're at a point in life where they're looking at universities, my eldest daughter's obviously raising her too. Everyone just needs that little bit of support and help. So I would just be helping my family. Then obviously I've got to start thinking about like pension and things like that. My husband has had medical issues where he had a kidney transplant. A few years ago. In fact, I gave him one of my kidneys. So I know that there's a possibility that dialysis might be in our future. So if I can have that kind of level of security and time that, we've got that sort of income coming in, I think it just makes life a lot easier, doesn't it? Just, yeah, makes you feel a lot safer.
I love that. Absolutely. What a way to end this interview as well. So anyone that's watched this, if you've got any questions, you can obviously pop your questions here. You could message either of those. I'm just here for support, so I'm happy to answer any questions. But we are going to do a giveaway. So all you have to do is comment on this video. Comment your favorite part. You could comment you could say what products you might possibly be interested in if you are interested in anything, or just how you know Corinne. So you could just comment anything, and then what we're gonna do is give everybody a few days, put everybody's name down into like a hat or something. Get one of the horses to pull the name out. No, I'm joking about the horse. That would be a good trick though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Someone will pull the name out of a hat and you will get a full-size product that is sent to you just as a thank you. So Arbonne is predominantly built by word of mouth, so we don't pay for any advertising. So just you watching this video and just understanding what Arbonne is and letting other people know, like it just means the world to us. So we really appreciate everything. Corinne, did you want to say anything before we finished?
Just yeah, just feel free to just message me and just let me know if you want to know any more information about anything. And I'm looking forward to getting started.
Lovely. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.